Hey everyone, Dockwell here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a mid-tier list for 7.29D, and I think as I said in the carry tier list video, this tier list is for the most recent patch that the major was played on. We're not sure if we're going to get a patch again before the qualifiers for TI start, but either way, I'm just going to make this video, and if it's out of date in one day, whatever. It looks like more and more like the patch is going to come after the qualifiers, but hey, who knows? And regardless, I'm just going to make this for anyone who's interested because I haven't seen a tier list come up recently, so I'm just going to make this tier list for you, and let's just jump into it. So first, I will say that like the other tier lists that I'm going to make, it's a combination of pub plus pro. It's not like either or, and I just kind of mix and mash them together as much as I can. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, it is a little bit of an opinion, even though I am trying to go off of win rates and stuff as much as I can. I'm trying to kind of mash together, not just for the pro scene or the, high MMRs. I'm trying to also incorporate the lower MMRs and things like that in there. So anyway, in any case, let's jump into it. So S tier, here we have Puck. I think Puck is just one of the best heroes right now. He is very good he has a right click build with Deso and stuff that he can do still. He also has super high burst damage in the early to mid game, and then he can buy an Ags to control people even in BKB with the coil, and he's just really elusive, hard to catch, can do a lot of damage. He just has kind of everything right now. This hero is just so good in pubs, but also in pros. He is a hero that you have to know how to play, you have to be good with him, but I think if you do get good with him, if he's pretty high skill, but if you can master him, if you can practice him, if you can get good with him, you can stomp even in pubs, even at lower levels. So that's first. We have Puck there. Then next we have Templar Assassin. She's just she's really good in pros. She's really good in high MMRs. And I think that she's also very good at stomping in pubs if you know how to play her, because she can do a ton of physical damage, take towers pretty easily. She can just farm really, really quickly. One of the quickest farmers in the game, actually, from the mid position, and carry from the mid position pretty much. So she will fall off a little bit later, but that's kind of honestly not as true as it used to be because of all the different things that she has now with her Ags and Ags Shard and all this different stuff that's coming into play now with her in these recent patches. So she's just a really, really good hero at mid right now. Another one that can be a little bit complicated to play at times. You have to know what you're doing, but I think if you practice it, it can be pretty easy. She's not the highest skill cap hero in terms of not like Puck or anything like that, or Invoker or something crazy, but because she's a right-click hero, she can scale really well, and I think she can stomp games really well if you know what you're doing. So that's Templar Assassin for you. And then next we have Medusa. I think everyone kind of hates Medusa. She's one of these heroes that when she's good, she's so annoying, because if you don't have the right heroes, if you don't have anyone that burns mana, or even if you do at this point with the snake that she has and the her Ags build and all of that stuff, it can be even so annoying to, you might take all of her mana out, except for 100. She casts Snake, she gets all her mana back, and now there's nothing you can do. You can't kill her while she's just annihilating your whole team. So this hero has been good in pros, it's good in pubs, it's pretty much good regardless. It's a really, really hard carry late game, but you can also play it from the mid position. I will say, this is a hero that if you're going to pick it mid, usually as a mid player you last pick. If you have another hard farmer, like Terrorblade or something else, that is your safe lane hero. Your safe lane carry picks something that likes to just farm and doesn't want to fight, then you probably shouldn't pick Medusa, because you guys are going to be competing for farm, no one on your team is going to be doing anything, and then you're probably just going to lose. But if your safe lane carry is like Ursa or something, someone that wants to get involved or can get involved, then Medusa might be a great pick, because Ursa can get involved early, kind of likes to get involved, likes to take Roche, likes to just kill people extremely early on when he has a few levels and not even that much farm. Then Medusa can be a great hero because she likes to just sit in the jungle, get a few items up, get her 3 items or something like that, and then just own the game afterwards and become unkillable. So I think those are your 3 best heroes here, is Puck, TA, and Medusa. And then a tier below that, we have the few heroes that are good in pros and pubs, and then some other ones that are kind of just cheese heroes over here. So first we'll talk about Viper. I think Viper is just an overall really good hero. He's been contested in the pros and played in high level, but also he's really, really good for lower level players. I mean, he's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, simple to play. He's relatively slow, so doesn't have mobility, but he does a lot of damage. He's one of the only breaks in the game, so if you're against heroes that are popular like Timbersaw or something like that, Spectre, whatever, his break is really good, even against heroes like Dragon Knight and stuff like that. One of the only breaks in the game, so it just makes that hero invaluable right now, and he's just pretty easy to play and pretty good, like I said, in pubs as well. So that's Viper. We have Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight has been contested in pros and plays, I think he plays off lane as well. He kind of plays all the different positions, but mid is sort of like his main position. He's able to take that tower early with his ult form, and you can basically get that that Ags with the Black Dragon and just be like completely unkillable and still dish out a ton of damage. His stun is like insane. I don't know how it's made it this far where he stuns for so long. I actually don't know the full duration, but it just feels like, you get hit by this stun late game and you're just stunned for like the entire team fight. It seems ridiculous. So that's Dragon Knight for you. I think he's a pretty good hero this patch. Leshrac, another hero that's pretty decent. I think that I don't know. I would have to look again at the win rates and stuff. I think Leshrac may be one that's like a little lower, but I think Leshrac's pretty good this patch. One of those heroes that can be a little bit confusing and complicated to play for like heroes or for players that are lower MMR, but if you do master him, if you know how to play him, you can just take towers so quickly. You can do a ton of damage in team fights, especially before people get BKBs. So it's just one of those heroes I think is pretty good right now. Magnus, a pretty decent hero. I'm actually not 100% sure what roles he's all been picked in. I know he can play, like, sometimes people even play him support or off lane or things like that, but I think he's mainly a mid. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. I think actually he might even be like a 5 position. You can almost like play all different roles, but Magnus is just one of those that he can speed up your carries farm. He can farm really quickly, so he may have even been a 5 position. I'm not sure. I didn't like pay super close attention to all the positions he was picked in pros, but because his win rate is up there, his pick rate is up there, I'm going to put him up here. So that's one that don't call me out on that if he's not been picked as mid like a ton. But I just know that he's generally a mid here, and I just kind of looked at the win rates, but didn't do a full dive into that to see if it was like at another position. So maybe that one's not correct. I'm not really sure, but we'll move on here to these next few heroes. This one, obviously, Morphling. He's also kind of a carry, but a lot of people play him as mid. If you know how to play him and you're good with him, he can just stomp games. I mean, he's a typical like smurfing hero because he's just that good. And so I did talk about him in the carry video, so I'll probably move on from that. Nothing more to say than Morphling is just a pretty good hero. He's either like, this hero feels like he's either really, really, really good and just stomping games or just like complete garbage. And I think right now he's like pretty good. He's pretty up there. And then the next 4, we have Tinker, Clinks, Visage, and Meepo. And I'm grouping all of these guys together because they're all heroes that are good right now, but like with their win rates are really high, but they're like pub stomping kind of heroes that you have to know how to play. Like they're cheese heroes because, Tinker, Clinks is more of a right-click hero, but like these 2 heroes, like people can play them. And they're just like cheesy and pub stompy, but these 2 heroes are almost like super cheese. If you pick them and you just like are a specialist in one of these heroes, then that's basically how you would like smurf or gain a lot of MMR if you really know how to specialize in one of these heroes. So, but these 4 are kind of all in that same bag where if you are really good at them and you know how to play them, you can probably gain a lot of MMR and their win rates are really high, but they're just not picked all that often. So that's our A tier there. And then we move down to B tier, and I think B tier is like, it's a little awkward here. I think it's like ones that, Necrophos has a high win rate. Again, he's sort of like Magnus, where I think he's played in other positions, like offlane and stuff too. So I'm not really sure if he's played mid that much, but he seems to have a decent win rate despite not being picked all that often. At least in pubs. So I just kind of put him here. I just threw him in there because I didn't think, based on his win rate in pubs and stuff, that he should be down here. So that one's a little bit questionable. I'm not sure 100% if I agree with that. I just kind of stuck him in there. And then next we have Lena, who has been a pretty decent mid. I don't think she's one of the best mids right now, but she's a pretty decent go-to mid. And then Tiny, who I think Tiny is like that. Like, he has strengths and weaknesses. He can be really, really good, but sometimes he can be not too great. Invoker, I think this is an Invoker patch where if you're good with Invoker, you can actually really stomp. And similar with Huskar. Huskar is kind of a cheese hero, which is... Huskar isn't like completely garbage right now. He's pretty good with his win rate despite not being picked all that much, but he's pretty decent. It's not like a complete stomp, every time you pick Huskar patch, but it's also not a Huskar like his complete garbage patch. So that's why I kind of put all these guys in here. I think they're like pretty good. They're like almost like breaking in up here with their win rates and stuff, but they're not just like the best heroes to pick overall. I think that, especially these two, they've been contested a lot and picked a lot in pros, but I think they have like some problems. Like basically there's some problems with the heroes overall. So that's these heroes. Next we'll move on to C tier. These are a lot of like generic mid laners that are like decent. I think this is just kind of your average mid laners that like anyone can play right now. And then we also have Arc Warden over here, which is another like spammy hero, but I don't think it's like a really, really good Arc Warden patch. But it's like if you're an Arc Warden player, you could probably play him and play really well because he's like carrying from the mid lane. But here you have like, I mean, I probably could just like edit this and put the spirit heroes all together. But you have Razor, who I think can be decent, Death Prophet, which can be decent, and then you have like all of your spirit heroes. And then you also have Bat Rider, which is a little bit cheese too. He's kind of fallen off since like that time that he could farm Ancients a lot. So I don't even know, he might even be in the tier below. But yeah, this is probably like your C tier. I might even put like Razor down below here, like switch some between C and D. But this is kind of just what I felt would be best to put these guys in here. So that's generally your C tier. I think you can pick any of these any game. You can learn these guys if you want, but they're not always the best in every game. And then you have D tier here, which is pretty much all the mid heroes that are still playable, but we don't really see them all that often. And that's like your SF, Kunkka, Queen of Pain, Pangolier, all these kind of guys. I mean, Kunkka might even be C tier. Actually, I feel like I could move Kunkka up here because we've seen Kunkka being played a decent amount, but we really don't see SF. We don't see Pangolier. We don't see Wind Ranger, Queen of Pain. Zeus is one of those pub stompy heroes, but he's not picked much. Pugna, Silencer, Skywrath. I don't know the last time we saw these two, but you can win games with them if you play them mid. So I think that's kind of your D tier. And like I said, I put Kunkka up there. That's probably one adjustment I would make because we have seen him more. I mean, I think, yeah, he should definitely be up here because he even could be like up in a higher tier now because he's been picked and played a little bit more in pros and stuff. So anyway, that's your D tier. And then lastly, we have the F tier here. And that is kind of the same thing that I said for Alchemist as a carry, is that it's either an Alchemist patch or it's not. Based on his money, like ability to get money, it's either really, really good or it's kind of trash. So I think we put him in the trash tier. OD is kind of a trash hero. We saw EG pick it at the major and it was just garbage. It just, I don't see it being picked ever. I mean, I saw it being picked when it would rush like Meteor Hammer, but I don't really like see that even happening anymore that much, so I put that in the trash F tier. And then we have Sniper, who, I mean, in lower MMRs, maybe Sniper should be up here because like if you're in lower MMR, you could pick Sniper and he could be really good. But Sniper's just like, it's just one of those heroes that's never gonna be. It seems like he's either really bad and you're just never going to pick him once you get above like 3.5k because you're just going to get stomped or something, or he's like amazing. He's like so good that like everyone has to pick him. And then next we have Lone Druid, who is more of like a mid hero than a carry, but I kind of put him in both, and I don't see anyone picking this hero. This hero just like, it doesn't seem very good at all. I mean, the only person that plays this hero I think is Bulldog still, and he's not even a pro. So I think this is, I would put him in F tier here. I just don't see him being picked at all. And he's so complicated. He's like a cheese hero, but he's just like a terrible cheese hero. He's not good. He's not as good as any of these heroes. His win rate's not good and stuff like that. So that's why I put him here. So I think that is my mid tier list. If you guys disagree or have any comments or think that I messed something up, should put someone in a different spot or whatever, if you want to inform me about Magnus or Necrophos, what have you, maybe Kunkka should be higher, I don't know, let me know. But I think this is a pretty good mashup of the pro and the pub scene and what we can get, and I kind of want to give you a good idea. You know, if you want to get good at a hero, if you want to practice someone that's good in this patch, pick one of these. Maybe pick one of these A-tier heroes. You know, if you want to get good at cheese, you can pick one of these guys. So that is my mid-tier list. Like I said, if you like this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all those kinds of things as always. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.